This is what the streets of Aussie cities looked like last week as tens of thousands of construction workers dropped their tools and went on strike. They are all members and supporters of the CFMEU, which has played a massive part in the lives and careers of workers like these for a long time. The history of unions goes back to the Industrial Revolution, when more people moved to cities and started working in factories and mines, where conditions could be brutal.
Workers could sometimes be forced to work really long hours.
How much longer?
In sometimes dangerous conditions.
This isn't safe.
And not always paid fairly.
Kids as young as 8 would sometimes be put to work, and for a lot less money than the adults.
But if a worker complained, they could be easily replaced. But this isn't fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, in that case, you're fired! Get out of here! Come on, next.
But eventually the workers started to realise that if they banded together, they could force employers to listen to them and make changes.
Australia had a really strong union movement from the 1830s onwards. In fact, the Australian Labor Party, which is in charge today, was actually founded by the union movement back in 1901.
Over time, small unions started joining forces to give themselves more power to fight for workers' rights. And they had some pretty big wins, like a minimum wage, paid leave, better health and safety rules, and the 8-hour workday. People who worked on construction sites played a big part in making this happen. Workers that would eventually be represented by the CFMEU.
It was created in the 1990s to bring together unions for construction, forestry and maritime workers, and became one of the most powerful representatives for workers' rights in Australia. But recently, some leaders of the CFMEU's construction wing were accused of bullying, working with criminals, and corruption, which is using the union's power for their own benefit.
There's no place for corruption or intimidation in the building industry from unions.
Last week, Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus announced that all CFMEU construction branches around the country were being placed into administration, which means somebody independent is stepping in to run them for at least the next 3 years, until they can be sure that there's no more dodgy dealings. But the decision has made a lot of people really angry, because they think that unions should be able to represent their workers without interference from governments.
We said that administration was anti-democratic. We said that administration was not in the best interest of our members.
We are going to campaign for the absolute destruction of the Australian Labor Party in this country.
Others say it's not fair to punish the whole construction union over the bad behaviour of a few.
We're not thugs, we are workers, we have families. Now we're fighting for our genuine rights.
When you go out on site, people take care of you. They care about your well-being. That's not what's being portrayed, and it should be.
The government say that unions are important and do a lot of good for workers' rights. But to do that, they have to be honest and law-abiding.
The government is not for turning, and nor is the Australian public. They want to see this industry cleaned up.
We'll be back!